Hey coaches, welcome back to 8-Man Fast. Today I want to talk about how to build an offensive identity in 8-man football. In the last video, we talked about one of the biggest mistakes coaches make, trying to install too much. Too many plays, too many formations, too many adjustments, and when that happens, players start thinking instead of playing. So the natural question becomes, if we shouldn't try to run everything, what should we actually focus on? So how to build an offense that your players truly believe in. That's what I want to talk about today. And an offensive identity starts with clarity. So the best offenses usually have something in common. They're clear, the players understand the offense is trying to accomplish, and the offensive line understands the rules, the backs understands their assignments, the quarterback understands their reads if they have any. And because of the clarity, players play faster. So you don't have to hesitate, you don't have confusion. You have players attacking with confidence, and that's really what offensive identity is. It's clarity. So what we start with a core run. I think that's every good 8-man offense needs a core run concept. Something you can hang your hat on. We believe in sweep. We believe in power. Something that the kids truly believe in. And in small school football, 8-man football, the run game is usually your foundation. You should have one or two runs that your team can execute against almost any look. Something your offensive line understands and something your backs see clearly. So the real test of the core run is this. Can you run it when everyone in the stadium knows it's coming? Short yardage, goal line, late in the game. Can you run it at those times? If you can do that, your kids feel confident in it, that's what you want to run. That's your core concept. If defense knows you're running it and you still feel confident calling it, then you're probably getting closer to the true concept. Because your players understand it, they've seen it, they've repped it, and they believe in it. Again, when your players are calling for the play, that's usually when you know you have a core concept. When this core run, you want to teach the why, though. Another thing that helps build offensive identity is helping players understand why the concept works. Not just what they do, what they're doing, but why they're doing it. What the back is aiming for, and why the back is aiming where he is, why the line is blocking where they're blocking. And when the players understand that purpose behind the concept, their confidence is going to grow. And with that, in turn, again, the confidence is going to grow and confident players play faster. So make sure you're explaining the why of why you're running that concept. Build your pass game off your run game. Again, we've talked about this a little bit earlier. Just make sure you have a pass off that base core concept. If you don't, try to find one. Again, there's lots of things out there. Again, not you don't have to install a huge menu of plays, but the teams that usually run a handful of pass concepts extremely well. So again, if you have a good core run concept, make sure you have some passes that go off that. Your quarterback should feel comfortable in the system. Again, understand the progression, understand the coverage rules, and receivers should know their landmarks and spacing with this. When the quarterback is confident, the entire offense feels it. And again, continuous work on this, always improving, making sure you're trying to get better at that pass game off of your core run concept. Again, not making it complex. Your formations to serve your system. So another trap coaches fall into is chasing formations. You might want to add a lot, and I'm guilty of this too. I want to add a lot of formations, but you see something interesting in film, you see something at a clinic, you want to add it. Don't just suddenly add it. Figure out how it would fit into your system. Make sure your core run concept fits with that formation. Don't have it the other way around. Again, don't distract. You want to distract the defense. You want to make it a little bit harder for them to understand what you're running, but don't try to confuse your kids. Repetition builds confidence. We've talked about this too. Again, identity really develops when you rep it. So running the same core concept again and again and again, and we do this a lot during the summer. We run our core concept over and over again, and it gets monotonous. The kids understand that, but they understand at the end of the day that's what we want if we want to get 5 yards when we need it. Again, eventually players are going to stop thinking and they're going to start playing. So again, small school reality, we have players doing a lot. They're playing offense, they're playing defense, they're learning multiple positions. So if we can make that a little bit more concise, a little bit more clarity on that, and not too complex, kids are going to understand that and move faster, work harder for you. But when your system is clear, players are going to learn it faster and they trust it. So great offensives look simple. They look really simple. Oh, hey, you know what's coming. But successful 8-man programs over time, they run the same core concept out of the same different formations. Again, not adding too many, but trying to find that sweet spot of confusing the defense, but your kids are still running fast. So if you want to build an 8-man offense, start simple. Find that core run, build your pass game around it, use formations to support your system, and rep your core concepts relentlessly. Because when players truly understand that system, they're going to play faster. So again, clarity, repetition, speed. That's 8-man fast.